So, what is going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class High Octane Bumblebee. Oh boy. Knock it out of the way. This ain't going to be a good one. This figure is something, I guess. It's a Bumblebee, but it has so many issues that I just want to get into it. First and foremost, this thing has no paint on it, like, at all. Places that there is paint. The face. This yellow stripe right here on the chest. The yellow spoiler. And all of this back section because it's painted black because it's clear. Same with the doors. That's it. That's your paint. That's your paint apps. That's all you got. Pretty nah. And this guy, I think, was wave 1 of Age of Extinction. What a absolutely awful toy line. I just have to say it. I don't know what happened after Revenge of the Fallen. Like, they went to Dark of the Moon, and that was all right. It was worse than Revenge of the Fallen, but that's kind of like an impossible feat to live up to, right? This got worse from Dark of the Moon, and it's not even close. Not only was there barely any toys in this toy line, half of them were Bumblebee, and it's so stupid. This figure is stupid. The legs are overly long. The arms are way too stubby. Look at those things. They're stubby. And not only that, you can remove these. Boy, that's an interesting robot arm right there. Very interesting. His gun is literally that. I'm not joking. It has a pressure fire missile. That's gone. It's behind me. But, man, I don't know what they were thinking with this line. I really don't. I'm just going to try to get the missile. Like, I kid you not, there's like one memorable mold from this line, and it's the Evasion Optimus. That's not a joke. It's literally the only one that's like, yeah, that's pretty solid. Everything else is just kind of there. The Dinobots were kind of miserable. This is miserable. And I mean, look, somehow this is crooked. I have no idea. There's a stress mark on the doors, making them overly loose. I don't have an idea how the hell this is even crooked. It just is, and it's been like that since I've had it. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the legs just look horrible. There's gaps in the middle of them. You can see right through them. The ankles are way too thin. Like I said, arms too stubby. This could have used paint somewhere in there. It looks awful. There's a massive gap in the chest piece. Turning it around, he looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And it's just, oh my god, how is this robot this awful? It's a Bumblebee at top of that. He usually gets the good molds sometimes. They at least would try. They didn't even try with this guy. He wasn't the main Bumblebee of the movie line, obviously, but he was the first one out of that line, and he's just garbage. He is pure garbage. It's honestly crazy how garbage that this thing looks to me. I used to think this was decently cool because of the collar, but even that's just like, yeah, I guess so. No, this thing sucks, in my opinion. I hate the way that this robot mode looks on this toy. It looks so bad. The movie one's fine, but the robot of this toy sucks. It just sucks. His articulation is also there. He has a ball joint in the head, but it can look down because it's off-centered. Dear God. Forward, back, ratcheted shoulder for no reason. That makes it outrageously hard to move. So you're better off moving the not actual shoulder joint. You then have elbows, which again, unreasonably hard to move because they're ratcheted. Swivel, no hand articulation. Why? No waist. Backwards, hindered by this giant canopy. The knees are way too high up. Then there's another bend there, I guess, and the feet tilt, and that's it. That's it. Very poor in the articulation department. Not that he doesn't have it, it's just that everything's in the wrong spot, and his arms are too short, and the arms are ratcheted for no reason. This whole robot mode stinks. So what of the transformation for this guy? Yes, it was a failed transformation done on this thing. That's why this is connected. It's transformation step. Actually, it looks so much better connected. Am I wrong in saying that this looks so much better connected together and it actually fixes some issues? Anyway, let's just get into this. First thing we're going to do, come to the legs, and we're going to fold them up like so. And then you're going to peg them together using these back sections that are on the calves. There we go. Fold this down. Fold these in. That folds in like that. Take the arms, straighten them up, rotate them around like so. Do that. Rotate these like that. Make sure the head is pointing straight, and then the arms will peg together using the cannon, if you want to call it a cannon. You're then going to take the wheels and put them there. The legs then slightly scrunch, like slightly being the main term here. It's the main reason the legs are so out of whack where they like have the knee joint at. It's not a joke. That is the whole main reason. They just peg together on the back. Like so. And then you make sure the feet are up and in their correct spot. And here you have his alt form, which is a car. Actually looks pretty alright, if I'm being honest. The car mode is actually the best part of this whole thing. Transformation, unbelievably forgettable, unbelievably mid, and kind of just tedious in points. The car mode is nice. I do like the black matte color scheme. Looks very nice. The yellow stripe at the front looks nice. It's very nice for a blacked out car, but the windshield being clear really isn't helping it. You can see right through the thing, and it's just robot kibble, and it's his butt as well, which makes it even funnier. Wheels, no paint on the rims, no nothing. There's just no paint on it at all. It's just kind of there. It's a black car with some yellow stripes on it in some places. No headlights, no taillights, no nothing. You couldn't pick anything out on this thing. Anything. Nothing at all. You couldn't put a dab of, like, gunmetal somewhere on this thing. You couldn't do that? Really? So we're left with an unpainted alt form, basically. And I say unpainted because the paint is literally the doors, the roof, like I mentioned earlier. This, like, whole top section, these sections here, and then this little bit here. That's it. That's your paint. Ah, man, this thing sucks. Let's just get to my final thoughts on it. This thing sucks. This thing is awful. This is the epitome of what went wrong with the movie line. Yes, the movie line was so good for many years, and I think everybody knows that. If you were there for that peak Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon time frame, you know what I'm talking about. Those figures were amazing. There was so many good things coming out at that point. Revenge of the Fallen in particular is just an amazing toy line. There's not many flaws I can think of with that one. Like, yeah, there might be the bad figure here and there, but there was so many coming out in that time frame. And that's what made it so good. And they weren't just, like, doing, like, repaint. I mean, they were doing just repaints of the characters every once in a while. But they were making new people, too, and it was great. And there was, like, 2 toy lines. There was the main movie line, Hunt for the Decepticon. It was great. It was a great time. But then by the time we get to Age of Extinction here, everything is dead in the water. The toy line, like I mentioned, sucked. Everything felt cheap. It looked cheap. The transformations were gone. The old complicated ones for these new simpler ones, which, sure, a lot of people liked at the time. But boy, did this give way to the mid-2010s Transformers area of time. AKA, possibly the worst part of the toy line in my memory. I know there's obviously, like, the 90s. We know about that. I wasn't around for that, so I don't know. But in current memory, when Transformers is literally everywhere, the 2014 to 2019 time frame, that was a horrible time of toys. There's some good ones in there, don't get me wrong. There's some gems, but geez, man, did they, like, everything got skimped. Paint, engineering, it all got destroyed. And this is, like, the sneak behind the curtain here of what happened. It's just terrible. It's an awful thing. Unless you see it for, like, a couple of dollars, don't even bother. It's a horrible toy. It's just bad. It's not a good Bumblebee. It's basically the Bumblebee you get as, like, a, oh, it was there type of thing. And that's basically what I did as a kid. It was there and I bought it, and that was all. The other Age of Extinction Bumblebee is 10 times better than this one. But that's really it. That's all I have to say. This thing is awful. 1 out of 5. This has been Elthot Elite signing out.